Dust Bin Lid Shield. Before Steve Rogers ever fought with vibranium, his first act of vigilantism was fought with nothing more than a trash can lid. In the shady streets of Brooklyn, long before he was a super soldier, Steve showed that his courage didn't come from muscles or steroids, but from an unshakable will to stand up to bullies. When Steve got cornered, he grabbed the nearest thing he could find, a dented metal bin lid. It was clumsy, fragile, and barely big enough to cover him, but it did the job. More importantly, it symbolized Steve's instinct to fight and keep going, even when outmatched. Car door shield. Fast forward to Steve's transformation into a super soldier. No longer the weakling from the alley, Steve chased down a Hydra agent moments after getting the serum. With bullets flying his way, he lifts the door off the ground and uses it as a makeshift shield. The detail most fans love is that the car's door had a circular logo with a star in the middle, which looked almost identical to the shield he would later receive. Whether a clever Easter egg or a funny reference, this moment marked Steve's first time wielding something that resembled his iconic symbol. The cab door showed a new side of Cap, not just someone brave enough to fight, but now someone with the power to back it up. It was still improvised, but it marked his first real step toward becoming Captain America. USO Shield. When Steve officially became Captain America, it wasn't as a super soldier, it was as a performer. The US Army turned him into a propaganda tool, parading him around in a costume to sell war bonds, and in his hand sat the USO Shield. This early prototype was painted to mimic the American flag, complete with bold stripes and a star. It was made of sturdy metal, but it wasn't meant for battle. On stage, Steve used it as a prop, even holding his lines behind it. Yet, when he finally stepped into real combat, the shield became more than a prop. During his first rescue mission and the battle with Red Skull, Steve used the USO Shield to block enemy fire. For the first time, this symbol who entertained people was the one saving them. And in that moment, Steve went from a random mascot to a super soldier. This shield was eventually replaced because Red Skull put a dent in the shield after punching it, with the traditional and circular shield seen afterwards. Its importance can't be understated. It bridged the gap between Captain America the stunt performer and Captain America the hero. The Howard Stark shield, the icon that would define not just Steve Rogers, but an entire era of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The round vibranium shield designed by Howard Stark. This wasn't just a weapon forged from all of the vibranium the US had access to at the time. The shield was indestructible and scientifically ahead of its time. It could deflect everything from bullets, energy blasts, hits from other strong elements. When Steve first held it, the shield wasn't painted at all. It was a plain silver disc, smooth and unfinished. Peggy Carter famously tested its strength by firing several shots into it, leaving Steve both surprised and impressed. Only later was the patriotic red, white, and blue paint applied, with a star at the center, referencing the United States of America flag. From that point on, it became as iconic as the man himself. Over the decades, the shield evolved. In The Winter Soldier, Cap used a stealth variant painted navy blue for operations. In Age of Ultron, Tony added electromagnetic panels, letting Cap recall the shield mid-fight. The shield absorbed impacts, defied physics, and was both a defensive and an offensive weapon. Wakanda Shield. When Cap forced to fight without his iconic shield, the people of Wakanda made him a new version. After Civil War, Steve abandoned the AUG shield, leaving it behind when he broke ties with Tony Stark. During that time, he fought against Thanos without the weapon associated with him. When King T'Challa understood what was at stake, ordered a new shield to be crafted for Steve. These weren't circular. Instead, they were twin gauntlet-style vibranium shields, one mounted on each forearm, heavily inspired by Wakanda's king, T'Challa, the Black Panther. They were sleek, angular, and built for a completely different style of combat.